Hello, my name's Rachel and I work for Step 2 Young People's Health. This video is about online safety. I want to be very clear that I'm not trying to bash people and say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, and have you done this, that's not safe. That's not the purpose of this video, and that's not how I want it to come across. It's about thinking about the things that we all do. We do it as adults too, and understanding if that's the safest thing and if there's anything we can adjust slightly. Not necessarily change massive swathes of things that we do, but any little sort of tweaks that we can do that might make us a little bit safer. Okay, so online safety is a massive area. There is so much to it. Good question to ask with posting things online is, am I alright with the whole world seeing it? No, don't post it. Yes, post it with caution. So by that, posting with caution, I mean, if we're talking about social media, do you have any security settings on? Who have you got added on friends lists and things like that? Okay. Otherwise, you don't know what people are doing with that, and it could end up with lots of people seeing it, people you didn't consent to. We've got webcam hiding down in the bottom corner there. Do you have a webcam on your computer? Is it uncovered? Would you know if somebody had hacked into your webcam and was watching you? Okay, now normally there's a little light on there, so normally you can tell if the webcam's been activated, but are you paying enough attention to it? Do you know when that little light's on and when it's not? If you're a young person, you might not have had spam or scam emails, but definitely adults get these quite frequently if their email address has been sold on to somebody. A prince in Nigeria needs you to send him $5,000 or whatever amount of money so that he can do this, that and the other, and he's going to send you back millions of dollars and happy days. You know, you're doing him a favour, so he's going to pay you back in millions. They're always spam. They're always scams. Don't click on any links. Online purchases. Do you know where you're buying from? All these adverts and things that you see popping up on social medias, are they legit? How do you know that? Have they just paid for an advert there? We've just got to be a little bit careful. Again, might not affect you at your age with having to pay for it and MasterCard and Visas and all of that kind of thing, but when you're older, does it look legit? Shared images, so it might be an image you shared of you, it might be an image that somebody else has shared and you've received it. Okay, there's lots of difficult sort of situations around that depending on what the image is of. Okay, but it all comes back to consent. Did that person consent to having that image shared with everybody? Any hidden communications? So that's people trying to communicate with you on a different platform. So for example, people do this with eBay all the time. They're trying to sell something on eBay. Once the sale has been agreed, they'll then say, oh, actually, can you contact me through this different platform? You know, contact me through WhatsApp or through whatever else, through emails perhaps. That's not generally a good sign. That is usually a sign of people trying to take you away from a protected website where you have rights and you have, you know, people looking out for you, and they're trying to take you somewhere else where, you know, they can potentially scam you. So have a think about your own behaviours. Have you ever done any of these things? Have you asked for pictures of people that you don't know? Now, there could be two reasons for that. Okay. It could be that you're trying to verify their identity, or it could be that you're asking for it for your own gratification. Okay. But at the same time, how do you know it's actually that person? Do you ever send pictures that people haven't asked for? If you're under 18 and it's a nude image and you send it to another person under the age of 18 and they receive it, you've actually both broken the law and that's your fault. Okay. Now, we don't want to blame, okay, but I am saying it's your fault for breaking the law because you've caused that other person to break the law just by viewing it. Okay, which seems a little bit strange because they didn't know what they were getting. Okay, but that's how it works with indecent images of people under the age of 18. Sent any other pictures to under 18s that haven't asked for them. So they don't have to be nude images, but again, consent. Do you have consent to send that person that image? Have you ever asked to share a password, or have you ever shared your password with somebody else? If you've shared your password with somebody else, can you 100% guarantee that they're not going to log onto your account and change your password and lock you out? Something to think about. And do you encourage people that you don't know to be your friend on socials, or do you friend others? Okay. Do you ask them to friend others? Do you have thousands of friends on your social medias, whereas you've only actually met about 200 of them? Okay. Just think about it. Think about what could be the dangers and the pitfalls of that. Okay. If you don't know who those people are and you can't verify who they are, just think about what could actually be going on there. Okay, so we're going to talk about vulnerability. So some of these are specific to young people. Some of them are specific to everybody, basically, because everybody's vulnerable online. Adults, young people, people with learning difficulties, older people are particularly vulnerable online because you guys have grown up with the internet. I've pretty much grown up with the internet, but older people haven't. So people who might be more vulnerable to online abuse, it does depend on your circumstances. So if you're living in poverty, if you're struggling with money and somebody offers you some money, you know, like that Nigerian prince scam where, you know, they're going to give you $1 million, brilliant, okay? All you have to do is do this slightly little dodgy activity for them, okay? People can fall into that because if they're so desperate, okay, and again, this comes to the financial status at the bottom. If they're desperate for money, then they will do it. But equally, the financial status one, there's been a massive rise in romance fraud among older people, where they're on their own, they're a bit lonely, they're a bit isolated, and somebody pretends to start an online relationship with them, and it turns out that they're actually doing it just to get money out of them. Cognitive dysfunction is there. That's people with learning difficulties or learning disabilities. So they may not understand the situation. Scammers are professionals at what they do, basically. There's not really many other ways to put it. They are pros at conning people. They use lots of marketing techniques to target people, and that's based on your vulnerability. So they'll you know, your Nigerian prince is going to target somebody who's been talking about money, okay? Or you've got their person openly talks on social media about the wish to meet someone and that they're on 3 dating apps. They don't have any security settings on their account, so everybody can view that. The scammer will target them for a romance fraud. You know, they're desperate to find somebody that they can spend their life with, so that's a perfect way in for a scammer. This one's been quite popular, and it's not just Beyonce, it's lots of other stars as well, and they've been quite big in America, but also here. So a superstar supposedly texts you to say that they've lost a credit card. They need you to pay for something, they'll pay you back with interest, okay? So Beyonce using a second account. Can she borrow your credit card to purchase a plane ticket to see you? I heard you're a big fan. I'm fairly certain that Beyonce has other ways to access her money than a credit card. And these days, you can get them replaced fairly quickly anywhere. Okay, so you can see underneath there, accept message request from Beyonce, I love Blue Ivy. 0 followers, 0 posts. So this is a brand new account. Okay. Beyonce's using her second account. How'd she get your number? Why is she texting you? Presumably she's got some very, very rich friends. She's got a very, very rich husband. Okay, very, very rich family members. I'm sure she could manage to get money from them rather than coming to somebody that she's never met. There's lots of trolls and online abuse out there, very sadly. Okay, and trolls deliberately leave provocative and offensive messages online. They are trying to get attention. They are trying to upset people. Okay, they just post all this stuff and then they sit back and watch. Okay, you may be aware of Jessie Nelson from Little Mix. She actually did a programme about why she'd left the band and the online abuse and things that she got. She got loads of trolling from the minute that Little Mix won. Like literally they were on stage, it was being announced that they'd won and people were posting stuff online. It led to her wanting to end her life. she wanted to take her own life as a result. Katie Hopkins there, thankfully we don't hear much from her at the minute because she is like a super troll. Packet Mix have still got a chubber in their ranks, less Little Mix, more Pick and Mix. That's completely unacceptable. Nobody should be allowed to speak about other people like that. She's deliberately done that to get a reaction. That is what Katie Hopkins feeds off. Okay? You need to think about the impact of your actions on other people. If a person did take their life as a result of something you've been posting online, then you are responsible, partly responsible, for that person's death. Loads of places you can get help. Most of the young people that are watching this will all be aware of Childline. School usually promote that pretty well anyway. Okay, so things that are happening online could be classed as cyberbullying. You might benefit from mental health support. One of the best places to go for that is Childline. Not many people are aware of this as yet. This is part of Childline. It's called Report Remove. So if you're under 18 and a nude image or video of you has been shared online, you can report it and it will be removed. Okay? All you do is you go on the website. If you Google Report Remove, you'll get the link straight away. Make sure you click on the Childline one, not the NSPCC one. You're going to create a Childline account that'll send you updates. You report your image or video. Okay? After a few days, check your Childline locker, which is a little bit like your inbox, to get any further information, updates, that kind of thing. But basically, they've got a really special program that assigns a number to your picture, and then they scan the internet looking for it. Okay, and any websites that have got it on, they will be told that they are showing what is known as child sexual abuse material. Okay, this nude or semi-nude of an under 18. They'll be ordered to take it down. If they don't, Childline will pass that to the police. You haven't had to deal with anything other than reporting it, and you will get mental health support from Childline as a result, because this must be a really unpleasant experience. COOP is for if you're worried about any online sexual abuse, the way somebody's communicating with you. If you're just a little bit scared about the way somebody's been trying to communicate online, you can report it to COOP. Some more support services here. So we're Step 2 Young People's Health in the middle there. So we're a sexual health and mental health charity. So you can contact us for any mental health support. You can make referrals on our website. We've got our social medias there. You can contact us through those. We work very closely with James and Hale in the corners there. And we deliver sex and relationships education across the Bradford district. Hale is a healthy living project, but they do lots and lots of work with young people, so it might be worth checking them out if you're in the Bradford area too. You've got the NHS. They can offer counselling and things, generally very long waiting lists, however, so you could contact COOP. You've already had the Childline details. You can contact the NSPCC. Young Minds, they also have a text service if you need support from Young Minds for mental health support. Just have a think about what you're doing online, if your behaviour affects other people, or if you might be vulnerable to these scams because you've got no privacy settings, because you're posting your entire life online and showing everybody what you're doing all the time, which makes you an easy target for a scammer.